Chief again, and I have another thought. Today, I was thinking about emotions, and not the group from the 70s and 80s, the emotions, or the emotions of these pussy motherfuckers online, and in out these colleges and stuff who are scared of criticism and who can't take someone who they don't know or some avatar of like some random ass shit like Kirby or like some anime bullshit or some figure from history, some famous figure in history saying some shit they don't like just because they're bored at the house, probably getting hella emotional because they're drinking wine and doing drugs and shit and don't have nothing else to do with their time when they should be reading something or trying to gain confidence in themselves and not make it dependent upon the society around them to give them confidence and give them some sort of validation, which is a fool's errand. A fool's errand to depend on the outside world to give you confidence and validation. A fool's errand, and let it affect your emotions so much that you think negatively about yourself. If you're a scumbag, you should think negatively about yourself if you're doing some stupid ass shit and trying to influence people to your train of thought or to actually worship your identity, which is happening now. People want their identity actually worshipped, and they want some sort of divinities because they can't be criticized even if they do the most scumbag, horrific, awful shit that you ever want to imagine that you can do to another human. You still have to worship their identity because they want it, because they want divinity. They believe that they're divine, and what they do is divine based upon some esoteric pagan bullshit. That's what it's based upon, and they know it. Oh man, all these witches, man, I swear to Christ, they're the most sensitive people on the planet. But I'm just talking about human emotion in general, and not them pussy motherfuckers human emotions, but our emotions and how necessary they are to our experience, and not these manufactured emotions, and I can't get over how manufactured they are, especially when all you have to do is change the channel or get off Twitter for fucking, you have 200,000, 500,000 tweets and shit in 2 years. Like, get the fuck off of there. God damn. It's so hard, man. That's why they took the dad out of the home. I swear to God, I be telling my son and daughter, I'll be like, get off that shit. Damn. Take that shit off. Damn. Anyway, turn the shit off. But the elites don't want you to do that. They make it necessary so you can go to their coffee shop and at work and say, did you see the latest episode of Game of Thrones or, Squid Game? Oh man, wasn't it fantastic? I think it represents this. I'm like, shut the fuck up, man. God, I don't know. I shouldn't even get so mad. I see how emotional I'm getting. But I think that's necessary. And what's happening is our emotions are trying to be used against us, number one. And that's what's happening with social media. They're using our emotions against us. And most likely, and our inability to actually take the criticism of millions, ostensibly billions of people, criticizing us and who we are. That's why I always say that we should just turn it off. Delete the app off your phone for a little bit and see how much better you feel, especially if you have a good circle around you or a strong family around you who are there to encourage you, and not to use your identity, and don't necessarily use your identity as a shield. Use your morals and your character and your mores as the focus of your of who you are and your self-worth. But these people who are actually into this identity politics shit don't have any of that shit and brag about it, because that's why they're so focused on everybody else getting on board with their nonsense, and that's exactly what the elite do, and that's why they killed the Most High they're trying to kill the Most High and his relevance in the society, which they pretty much are almost successful at doing, because they, number one, don't want us to connect to the mores of the Bible or the scriptures, but also they want to destroy our want for an outside force to be our guidance, which I think is what we have to do so we avoid narcissism and pretty much self-destruction, self-immolation. Like we're destroying ourselves with this narcissism and this self-worship. And I realized that too. I had to realize that. That's why I'm at least trying to promote it. I'm not trying to convince anybody or convert anybody, but and that's also why the elite want to destroy it as well, because they don't want us to have a soul. They want us to deny the fact that we have a soul. So number one, we allow our obsolescence, and number two, we allow them to meld us with machines, with this transhumanism stuff, where they're trying to say that everything in our body should be controlled by a machine, because machines can do better than what the Most High has given us, what He's blessed us with, when it's mostly the elite in science and technology and business who are attempting to do all their best to create things that are actually not to better humanity, but I think to challenge God, to attack God, actually the Most High, to attack Him. They're trying to attack the belief in Him, and all they're doing is bringing about, the script, bringing about their fate, their scriptural. They can't even help it. They can't even help but do it. So it's actually kind of a time where we should rejoice, actually, because what the Most High stipulated is coming to pass. But we must understand that we have to embrace our soul, and our human emotion is an expression of our soul, if it's genuine. And I think that when you try to connect your emotion to social media, it's not genuine. It's not real, as Dave Chappelle stated in his special. And even though, he stated that, no one can even reflect on it. They're just trying to attack him, number one, because people are making a name, especially people on social media. They have to make their name after, by trying to attempt to take down another name, or attack who their gods are, the celebrities, to attack their name, to attack the celebrity or attach their name to the celebrity somehow, by either being their biggest fan or their biggest detractor, and that's manufactured emotions to me, where you're not genuinely mad. You're forcing yourself to be mad at things because it's necessary for your identity. For your identity expression, but we shouldn't allow these elitists and these globalists to actually make our emotions obsolete. It's okay to be angry, especially we need to be more angry at the world. That's why, and our politicians who are absolutely making this place a wasteland. I'm just going to stress this every video. The West Coast is a fucking wasteland. Any of this identity politics, critical race theory that any of these universities are stating, that any of these politicians are promoting, all the changing the names of shit, of supposed, people who are being relegated to their negative attributes, that's not changing anything. That's not changing any conditions. It's not, the conditions are actually deteriorating, and that's just and they're just distracting away from their inaction. They're playing on our human emotions. Especially the media expressing and telling us that we have to care about all these things, when in actuality most of us have lived with them our whole entire lives. And if we started doing that with everybody and everything, all of us would be canceled. All of our names would be torn through the mud because of the things that we keep private, and the lives that we may lead, and that can lead to some sort of criticism, especially if it's put on blasted on social media to a probable billions of people to judge. Because despite the fact that people are trying to be forced to think on one accord and have one emotion with every single subject, and have one, they should have one thought and similar thoughts when it comes to anything in this lifetime, especially during the scamdemic, and having any questions is actually being chastised. Questioning things is being chastised, which is insane to me. I thought there was no such thing as a dumb question. Now there's not supposed to be any questions. I always thought that was bullshit. There's hella dumbass questions, but you get what I mean. We have to embrace our soul, which is the fount for our emotions. We cannot let them destroy the soul more than they already have. and the soul and our souls are the property of the Most High. So once we understand that, we will be living a life of way more fruitfulness and happiness, at least in our minds, and we'll actually be able to bring that forth throughout our body and into our actions and our lives. You know, and I'm just speaking that's my testimonial, because I understand that I'm like, as my friend, I have a really small circle. I'm like a drug dealer, nigga. I got a small ass circle. But you know, ask them. I'm super emotive, and I used to be very emotive and had a super hot temper, and you know, like I was one of them niggas who, you know, a lot of light skinned niggas, when they get mad, they start tearing up. I was one of them niggas. You know, just so frustrated that you just can't help it. You know. But it helped me understand, especially getting into the scriptures and understanding that, you know, it's okay to be emotional, but actually as a man and as somebody who is an adherent to the scriptures and a believer and a follower of the Most High, that you must put your emotions in check, and you cannot allow people to get under your skin and to frustrate you, because you are the Most High's tool, and you're the Most High's home, and his weapon against the degeneracy and the immoral things that are going on in this world. Even though you still may engage in those things, but we just have to repent and understand that, you know, we do the best we can to serve the Most High, and that's by keeping our emotions in check, but also embracing them. And understanding that is a part of the humanity that we were blessed with. That we shouldn't destroy them and let people manipulate them for their own personal gain more often than not, where they can take advantage of you and actually sell to you based upon emotion. That's another thing. The businesses, and that they all take advantage of our emotions and how we need material that, well, supposedly we assume that materialism is going to placate our emotions or relieve our emotions, when in all actuality it makes us feel worse. So we have a soul. Do not let these transhumanist, degenerate pedophiles, scumbag losers, who are these nerds who are actually acting hella emotional now. I know they're thinking about their high school days, like, I'm going to get the world back because I couldn't get no pussy, and because they got stuffed in a locker or some shit like that. That's why bullying is kind of bad, but because some of these motherfuckers might become a cop, or not an asshole cop, or an asshole in any industry, but specifically these tech nerds who are just trying to have undue influence on the whole entire planet for some reason, and think that their nerdiness somehow makes them some arbiter of truth and understanding, and their words and their actions are going to be, number one, ignored, but also their words should be adhered to, like they're the new gods of this earth, because that's what they're trying to create, because they think that they can usurp humanity, and also by usurping humanity they think they can usurp God, the Most High, which is their downfall. And they know they're doomed, but they just can't help but go through with these practices, because it's already been ordained. But I don't know. Who knows? The Most High does. Anyway, that's my thought of the day. Chief again. And I would like to thank you for listening to my inane pontificating. Please like and subscribe to Bad Thoughts Publishing Company on YouTube. Thank you so much.